You. You're scrolling again. How could this happen? You said last time was the last time, and now you can't stop. You don't want to. Have you ever been browsing a website or an app, doom scrolling the feed, going about your regular business, when all of a sudden it hits you? Betrayal. You think to yourself, am I being played by the app or the algorithm or something else? As humans, we're pretty hardwired to play. We're always looking for ways to make things that little bit more fun by turning them into a game. We're constantly applying game theory and mechanics to our daily lives. These implement reward structures and positive reinforcement loops in the hope that we can improve performance for just about everything that we do. From exercise like lifting weights, to learning a new language, and even improving personal finances. What was once considered downtime after work is now deeply embedded within it. You can think of sales targets, leaderboards, and key performance indicators for tech companies. A lot of these are ways to enable transparency into your own progress and for people around you. And as a result, trigger your intrinsic nature to compete, to hit a target, and essentially remove a notification by playing the game. Today, I'm going to be exploring how our experiences are being gamified and how the web in the future could be one giant game, as well as how you can anticipate and even prepare for it, using ideas and themes that exist today. Let's play. In the book, Gamification by Design, the term gamification is defined as follows: the process of game thinking and game mechanics to engage users and solve problems. Okay, I buy that, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it can't cause more problems by implementing this type of thinking into our designs. Take a red dot, for example. A red dot has significant importance. It's a to-do, it's a warning, it stimulates an anxious reaction. By displaying a notification that you haven't engaged with, studies have shown that you're very likely to focus on them immensely, as they're more prominent and emotion triggering. It's why on a phone, the one exception to the interface of the apps, the layout, is the little red dot, the decorator. You won't see metadata about the apps or even what the notifications are about unless you actively seek them out. It's a very clever gamified experience to get you to keep coming back, whether you like it or not, in a lot of instances. There's good and bad outcomes of gamified experiences, but the important thing is that you play. At least that's the message that a lot of the big tech companies put out there, for example, in order to get that consistent profit and returning customers. They'll do this by making you feel like you're having fun using their platform. Think of the infinite scroll, for example. It's a very cleverly designed page loader. So what that means is you'll be scrolling the app or a website and the page will feel like it never ends. This is very tricky because you'll forever want to find the end of the page. Or how about a virtual reward for completing tasks? We like badges. Or even a poke on Facebook, if you remember what that is. its core, when you browse a website right now, you may feel drawn to certain things on the page or certain buttons without having ever used the experience before. It comes down to visual cues and instant gratification. This is users seeking that sense of validation from positive reinforcement loops on your platform. Your thought process might be, I've clicked buttons like this before to purchase an item, to like a comment, or add an emoji. Designers, engineers, companies altogether, they know the value and effect of familiarity and reward. So you can think of design as cycles of engagement, positive reinforcement and validation. It could be as simple as a hover effect. I move my cursor and see a button. I see that it can be interacted with by its styling, changing. So now I want to click it. But it also means that I'm seeking similar interactions throughout the rest of my experience with this app or website, sort of like a game. There are hugely popular trends right now with micro interactions and animations for correct behavior, but it all ties back to positive reinforcement loops that you see in games. Do something correctly and you'll get rewarded. Don't, and you'll be stuck in a motionless void of emptiness for all eternity. Or at least until you close the page. We're also starting to see a lot more adoption through a Web3 lens. Heavy focus on community, decentralization, and participation, all of which have a focus on gamification at some level. So some examples are that you can get rewarded for things like activity, your staking, moderation. These are all pretty essential components to a lot of the blockchain ecosystems, which is both positive and negative, because on a personal level, it gives you a lot more control, but also it gives you a lot more responsibility. So let's consider other forward-thinking technologies, like the blend between 2D environments and 3D environments. Whether it's augmented or virtual will only become more prominent with the web going forward, potentially introducing a shift in mindset towards a more experience level focus on design. As opposed to interfacing with the system, we'll feel like we're inside it, exploring a website as opposed to viewing it. Let me describe an example for you. Imagine you need to be introduced to something that's pretty mundane, like a website to learn a language. So right now, what they tend to do is use little onboarding techniques, little pop-ups on a page that direct your eye to certain parts of the image, certain parts of the screen, or other small visual cues like we've already discussed. So animations, hover effects, rewards, leaderboards, that type of thing. 20 years from now, it could look completely different.
The year is 2043. You've woken from your slumber and had your nutritional breakfast. Time to learn some Spanish.
Hi Ollie, welcome to the entrance of the Spanish language journey. You will embark on many quests as you progress through the treacherous cities of medieval Spain through the Iberian Kingdom. You'll face many difficulties on your way, but you can invite friends to help you defeat the mythical monsters you'll encounter in search for the crown of fluency. You must hurry and make your decision before our once-in-a-lifetime offer ends, and the crown of fluency is found by your close friend Davis Tang. Do you accept? Click now.
I have an entire video on the impact of virtual reality if you want to check that one out too. I've linked it down in the description. We've probably all been driven to a snap reaction that we've later come to regret online. Truth is, you may not be the driving force in that decision to respond in that particular way sometimes. Content can be presented to us in a way that triggers. The group mentality can be sometimes a proxy for trust. So at times when people react a certain way online, it could be just that they're playing the game that's being asked of them in the hope of receiving some reward that's visual or social gratification. Having said this, we also have a lot of reason to be cautiously excited about the future of design, the future of the web. whatever that might look like. Because gamification can be really great. There's a lot of utility in learning through play. We do it as children, and then as we age, we tend to shun it a lot more. But with its reintroduction to our daily lives through some of these technologies, we shouldn't take it for granted. And I think a lot of responsibility is placed on design for that. And probably for good reason. We, as designers, if you're a designer, like and subscribe if you are, and if you're not, can sometimes be in positions to alter the experience, the appearance, maybe even the direction at times of a product. But it's definitely a shared responsibility from a company-wide perspective. If the ethos is to benefit the user as much as possible, by sometimes forfeiting that smaller amount of profit to help the audience's mental health, the customer's mental health, then I think designers can flourish in their roles, gamifying these experiences to benefit the users physically, socially, and even financially. All right, let me know your thoughts on gamification, and I'd love to hear the impact that you think it's having on the world down in the comments section. Also, if you like this type of content, you can give it a like or subscribe to the channel. If you want more of this content, you can follow me on Twitter at Efez. And I want to say a big thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.